Little bounce there from BTC, and the S&P is at all-time highs. Is this the start of something exciting, guys? Today, I'm going to show you my exact plan here on BTC. I'm going to show you the BTC trade that I'm in and what we're going to do about it. We've got a couple of altcoins that are bouncing now off good areas as well. Maybe things are going to turn short-term bullish. Bigger picture, we're going to find that all out today. Guys, lots to talk about here. Let's get right into it. And remember, as always, if you're enjoying the dump or the pump, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. I come to you guys every single day, including Sundays. And likes Bouncer, he's here. He's here, still in that lovely background, looking good. Banter Bubbles, a little bit of a mixed bag at the moment. FTT is down 8%. I think that's got something to do with old Caroline. She's now forfeiting some of her assets. So anybody who follows that FTX story, she was she was the CEO, and she's agreed to get rid of some of her assets. 𝗙𝗢𝗣𝗡 taking a bit of strain there. I got stopped out on that 𝗙𝗢𝗡 yesterday, was looking for a nice little move. They pushed me down. They hit me at 580, so that's not a good look, but we've had a nice little bounce overall in the market. So things are looking great. Let's jump into BTC and just see exactly what is potting here. Look at this, Raymond. Look at this. This is a thing of absolute beauty. I need your bull eyes on this one, bro. Look at that. We said Bitcoin, we're looking for this dip into 61,610 and trend. Okay, you can't make this shit up. Look at this banger. Look at this absolute banger, 61,600 on the 618 fib, on the trend, on that little level there, and a nice little bounce. Not going to lie, feeling quite happy with that little bounce there at the moment on BTC. So what does this mean for us now? Well, again, I'm excited because we got that exact zone we wanted, but we are by far not out of the woods at the moment, guys. So we want to exercise caution here as much as possible. So I'm going to bang my stop under this low now. I'm going to show you my trade in a minute. I'm going to bang my stop under that 61,600 low. That is the one we're going to be watching now. I don't feel like doing a round trip to the bottom there, so we're going to watch that area. If things start turning south now, okay, let's say things start reversing during the day, 60,800. That's still a banger zone for me that I'm watching. That's a big zone. 50-day MA. I've got the anchored VWAP as well. So that's a nice little bounce zone. Then a little bit lower down, we've got 59,600. So these are the hot zones to the downside that we are watching. Now, remember yesterday, there were a lot of salty people in the comments, even on Twitter. They were upset with me because I said BTC at 53K is a possibility. Now, it is a possibility, and my stance remains the same here. This is a short-term bounce until we start clearing that 200-day moving average, until we start breaking new highs. So just a reminder here, the 200-day MA is sitting here, 63,500. I've got our 618 rejection band at 64K. You can see we've had a heavy rejection there once already. That started our downtrend. That was the trigger to confirm that we do have a downtrend in play at the moment. So just a reminder, we've got now a rejection of that region, and now we technically have a downtrend in play. So I'm excited because we got that exact number there at 61,600. But now we've got work to do. There's big resistance here ahead in this region. So anything from 63,500 to 64K, that's a hot zone now. And look out, okay? That's a TP zone. That's a big TP zone for me there on BTC. If we start churning higher, yes, okay, we can get bullish. If we start breaking that 200-day MA, we start finding support above that 63.5 zone, somewhere in that region, then there's potential breakout trades and more things coming after that. But right now, again, TP zone for me coming up at 63.5. Let's see. I mean, we might even have a little accident here. Look at this little wick on that 4 hour in that region as well. So 63,129. Let's just take a look at that liquidation heat map. I just want to reset this one. And this is the 24 hour. Now, there's something interesting on the 3-day as well that we are going to be looking at. But look how juicy this is, both sides. Okay, so don't think these guys leading into CPI tomorrow, leading into PPI on Friday, don't think they're not going to play games. Okay, up, down, up, down. This is going to be a volatile couple of days here. So definitely opportunity to bank profits and things like that. If we look at this liquidation map, anything down to 61,100, that is super juicy. Look at that. And then anything from 62,400 up to about even 63,400 is obtainable here for a little push higher if they do want to send it. So that's 63,400. Look at that. That takes us straight into that wick that I've just highlighted there for you guys. I just want to put a marker on that for you. So that zone over there, just around that wick. Okay, there's lots of there'll be lots of stops and all sorts of things in that zone. Okay, so let's talk about BTC breaking trend here. And I mean, geez, this was a thing of beauty, dipping down into that region. So now you can see this is BTC on the 1 hour here on ZoomX. I've taken a position, and my average entry 61,800. We do have a little trend break here at the moment. Let's see how that plays out, and we're going to watch. If you can see on the 15 minutes, you can see these are our danger zones. Look at those wicks over there, and that upside wick there at 64,200. This is BTC on the 1 hour, excuse me. So these are the potential areas where we could get those types of rejections. So just looking out for there for those types of zones. And I'm just going to bang my stop, which was lower down earlier. I was expecting maybe a little bleed out to lower levels. I'm just going to raise my stop here, and I'm just going to bang it under that breakout candle there on the 1 hour for now. Okay, so we're gonna watch how things unfold. My stop is 61,725. Okay, so that is that on BTC, and I mean that's the 4 hour game plan. Now we're gonna look at the daily, and can somebody tell me why ETH is pumping and why I don't have a big ETH position? Raymond, did you see ETH started pumping just now? And we'll talk about it today. Maybe it's because I tweeted something bearish about ETH. So we're gonna look at that. Okay, let's go. What is happening? This guy. Okay, so for those of you that have been following the story, there was this HBO documentary. You guys know I spoke about a meme coin the other day, Len. There was speculation as to who they were going to reveal as Satoshi. One of them was, I think, Adam Black or Adam Back. The other one was Len Sassaman, and Peter Todd now was this guy. Okay, so the documentary, this whole fanfare happens, all this drama, everything behind it. They knew they were going to get all the crypto bros to come and watch the show. They just absolutely knew they were going to get it. So they announced that this guy is Satoshi. What does he say? I'm not Satoshi. Exactly what someone who's Satoshi would say. I mean, Ray, is that not a sign that this guy is Satoshi? Because he denied it. Come on.
Probably is. I'm long on that.
Then 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗢𝗪. Now, he says this HBO documentary is disgusting. It's baffling they reached this conclusion when all the BTC experts disagree. It's like making a flat Earth documentary without review from scientists and promoting it as unveiling Earth secrets. So, look, that is that Len token dumped on me, okay, when it wasn't this Len guy. So, it took a bit of pain there on that Len situation. And just an update on where we are on October. Okay, so October is still downtober, and we don't have to be that negative about it. It's the 9th of October. It's still early days for us. There's lots of time in October. We just got to get through CPI. Let's get through PPI. We know if there's relatively bullish things coming out there, the market might start churning higher, and married to this S&P that has just broken all-time highs. So that is power at the moment. And then I wanted to just share some couple of funny things with you guys. And I mean, this is what I showed you yesterday. Okay, this was Emperor saying, unpopular opinion, meme local top is probably in. Okay, late bulls will be punished. Now, didn't this actually play out perfectly for this guy? And it might still be playing out in spite of this little bounce that we've just got here. And 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗪 says, memes are about to dump. Bitcoin is about to dump. You guys are never going to learn. How many times you need to buy the top and get wrecked before you actually learn? Everyone going meme crazy because one guy's gigabull posting memes during a 7-month range. This is why the market isn't breaking. Anyway, he's having a proper sweat out here. But I mean, these guys might have a point. Okay, and one of his points that he made was that in all these times, okay, there's never been one single time when memes have pumped first that has led to an overall market breakout. So that's the point he is making. Okay, so until we break this downtrend on BTC, we actually are bearish, just like I've explained before and yesterday. So you guys aren't allowed to get, you're not allowed to get salty with me, if I'm just giving you what I'm seeing in front of me. Okay, so yes, 53K is a target, so is 47, so is 12K, but we're not there yet. Okay, so right now, that is why I was talking about that 53K, and I stand to be corrected at any point in time. When we get more information given to us, BTC breaks some bullish levels, then we put the bull hat on and we start firing away again. So I just want to show you something very funny here. This I actually love this. This is a perfect explanation of what is going on in the meme market at the moment. And guys, I mean, for those of you that aren't trading memes, this is something that you guys need to watch, right? Check this out. Can you hear this?
It could be louder. It could definitely be louder.
I'm going to fix that. Give me 1 second.
on Solana 2 weeks ago. It has gone on an
Can you hear it, Ray?
absolutely meteoric rise. It was the next big thing.
Okay, let's go again.
So I didn't even want to make a video about this, by the way, but I'm so pissed
This
off.
is quality,
about it
guys.
that
Watch
I have
this.
to say something, and I'm talking about this 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗣𝗟𝗡 meme. As we all know, quick summary: there was a 𝗦𝗘𝗢𝗡 meme coin launched on Solana 2 weeks ago. It has gone on an absolutely meteoric rise. It was the next big thing. And even so, I bought this thing at 250 mil. And I thought I had a clean 4x. This thing was going to run to 1 billion. It was going to be absolutely phenomenal. But it's been down only ever since I bought it. Why? Because this one launched on ETH, started getting pushed. It went from 5 mil to 10 mil to 50 mil, all the way up to 100 mil. People started saying it was the next Nairo. It was going to get listed on Binance. And then this was going to run instead of the Solana one. So what did I do? I sold my Solana one and I bought this thing at 100. And what has happened since then in the 24 hours since I've done that? This one down to 60. This one back up to 150. So I'm down 40% while the other one's been pumping 40%. And this is exactly the problem with meme coins right now. Because the game has changed. It is no longer about what meme coin you're buying. Now it's about what blockchain you're buying it on and the provenance that comes with it and knowing what cabals are pushing what and what's going to get listed and all of this bullshit that we didn't have to deal with 2 years ago. And I don't know, I don't like where this is going, if I'm being honest, because we're absolutely doomed if this continues, and we need to figure this shit out. I'm calling it right now. We are screwed if we keep this bullshit up.
Okay, you get the point, but I mean, isn't this just a perfect demonstration as to what is going on with the meme market at the moment? Okay, let me get my music on because it sounds like I'm in a cave, and let's get cracking again, guys. So I mean, the meme market is volatile, it's dangerous. Just want to remind you guys what is going on. And speaking of memes, okay, this is the fucking best thing you've ever seen. Okay, Canary Capital files S1 for XRP ETF with the SEC. Okay, I mean, that would in normal conditions pump a token, right? Okay, so what happens? Okay, they file these things, not XRP pops, I mean, but the XRP meme coin pumps 900%. XRP stays absolutely flat, bro. This is the best. Look at this. The XRP meme coin, okay, starts absolutely ripping, okay? I mean, I can buy into that, okay? I would buy the XRP meme, okay? That makes sense to me. And then XRP, look how fucked XRP is. Sitting under the 200-day MA. So nothing going on here for XRP at the moment. Looking very depressed down here under these types of levels. So it just doesn't feel like there's any news left at the moment to squeeze water out of this rock of S&P. And this is why I hate it so much. So forgive me for being so bearish on XRP, but that is the story, guys. That's the story. But what we're bullish on at the moment is the stock market. Look at this. NVIDIA is starting to pump us here a little bit, and that has started helping. Well, what I wanted to see help yesterday was Tahoe. I wanted to see the AI tokens start moving nicely, but we didn't get that little push. We just had a dip in the market, but NVIDIA looking strong, and it looks like it's teeing up the S&P pushing to all-time highs. So this thing is churning hard. And to celebrate that, I jumped onto Prime XBT and I thought, let me long the top of the XRP, I mean, like XRP, let me long the top of the SPX, the S&P 500, just to celebrate the current situation. So I've grabbed that long on Prime XBT. The stop loss is 5,738. I've placed it under the daily candle. You can see this, well, this is the 8-hour chart. So it's just under that candle. So if they're going to turn around and come and rinse me, well, then I'm not going to stick around. So let's see. We've played the breakout on the S&P, the stop 5,738. What is the target? Let's, for fun, just plot the target here using some science here. Let's take a look. Let's not be too aggressive. We'll go from those highs, bang, to these lows here, and we're going to bang out our 618 fib. That's a 1.618 fib. We want to see where that's going to take us. Oh, we're already at the rejection zone. Okay, we got to be careful there. So 5,800, number one, 6,000 is number two. Okay, so let's see how we go. So pushing into an interesting zone. Now remember, this is proper astrology for men, what I'm doing over here, but we know the 1.618 does work. The 2.618 can work as well. So we're going to watch that closely there on the S&P. But yeah, it's nice to dust off the old S&P on Prime XBT. So that thing is going well. And now, guys, before we get into all the juice, okay, there's some admin we got to take care of. Number one is the ByBit WSOT World Series of Trading. That starts tomorrow. There's now Ray, will you just drop that in the chat? There's a special offer for late joiners. Okay, so anybody who's joining this party late, we've got 450 members already, or teammates, and at the moment we are the biggest English-speaking team. Look in the chats there. You can see that comment that Ray has just dropped there for you guys. 100,000 WSOT giveaway. They're going to airdrop. Okay, you're going to get a share of 100,000 USDT. And for those who have already joined, open one or more sub accounts. You can apparently open 4 accounts and claim the extra airdrop. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. And if you do have a regular Binance account, it actually lets you open your World Series of Trading sub account. So it doesn't affect anything that you have going on in your main unified trading account or anything like that. It actually isolates the tournament. So if you want to be an absolute savage, an absolute degen, then you can do so. Okay, in a separate account. It's not going to affect what you guys are doing with your normal spot positions, your normal margin positions. It will have zero effect on that. So jump in there, join us, and you can search. Number one, there's a link in the description for you guys. It should take you directly to the Banter team. If not, all you need to do is click on the WSOT and you go into the squads and you can search for Banter. Okay, so what you're going to do, you just search here in the search bar, you just go Banter, there it is. Okay, and you hit search. And there's Banter, okay? And join us. We got 487 players, okay, in our team there at the moment. So things are going very nicely there. And then, guys, I've also got something to confess, okay? Something to confess here. Ray, I actually have a small package. It may not be, it's small, Ray. It may not be very big, but at least it's very thin as well, okay? And
is it at least thick?
Yeah. Yes, my small package. I guess it's tiny. It's a tiny little package, but at least it's thin. Okay, and here's our ledger. Okay, look at this. This thing is absolute thing of beauty. And I wanted to actually unbox this thing and make all the sounds when you like pull all the stuff off, but it's not doing it. But it's a touch screen. Okay, it's a touch screen ledger. And what they've done here for us is they've said anybody who buys a ledger using the link in the description is going to get $50 of Bitcoin. Okay, on their ledger, but it's got to be this Ledger Flex. Can you see that? It's a Ledger Flex. Okay, so looking for that Ledger Flex, and let me just highlight this for you. It's this guy. Okay, the Ledger Flex there on the left, $50. Oh, I'm talking to myself here. Let me pull up the screen. Hold on, $50. Okay, you're going to get loaded on if you buy that Ledger Flex. Okay, so use the link in the description there, and you can have a tiny little package like me, and it's also very thin.
That's pretty solid. It costs $250.
It's like $50 off, right?
It's right. Okay. The Bitcoin's at least going to double.
Yes, and I had the awkward moment of telling everybody that I've got a tiny package that's also very thin. So let's move on swiftly. Okay. Okay, guys, let's get into. Oh, look at this Bitcoin. Look at this Bitcoin. Okay, let's get. Oh, okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's start. BTC on the daily. So just to repeat, guys, this downtrend is in play. Okay, no changes here until we start turning super bullish. Downside targets. Why are they downside targets? We started this downtrend. Okay, so for me, that is in play. Okay, until we break the 200-day, start turning bullish again, then that is just what it is. Okay, now we know we've got the macro situation does look pretty good. We do have the issue of the US government now maybe threatening to sell 60,000 BTC. That could be a little bit bearish. A couple of rockets in the Middle East could be a little bit bearish. But other than that, things are looking okay. And if we get decent CPI numbers on Thursday, then I think we actually out of the woods. Okay, then we change our thesis, things start pushing higher. And I would just watch this closely. Okay, it's as simple as that. Total 3 weekly retest in play. Okay, so this is actually held really well. Total 3 is the entire crypto market, excluding Bitcoin and ETH, holding support really well. 50-day MA, nice bounce. Okay, things are looking good there from the alt front at the moment, and dominance is the one to watch. So this is what I was looking at on Twitter earlier today, and I was saying, do we get this little bounce today now that dominance is breaking below this little flag? So it's a nice sign that we've started dipping below this flag. So if we do get a strong alts bounce, I'm looking for that push in dominance down to 57.6. So that would be ideal there, and that will unlock a lot of these alts. That will give us some power and make us some extra money for anybody who's pumping these things at the moment. So looking for that dip on dominance. Long may this little drop continue here for us, and that is going to sort out our altcoins. Now, ETH suddenly came out of nowhere. And I was watching this thing on the 1 hour and it started printing God candles. I actually couldn't believe what I was seeing. So let's just talk about ETH quickly. Okay, remember, if ETH turns super bullish here, there are ETH plays that you can jump into, but they generally pretty shit. Okay, unless ETH is doing well. I'm talking Optimism, Lido, and those types of things. Then obviously we got Peppy, and even some of the ETH memes could start flying. So just keep your eyes on this. And what I'm watching here carefully for ETH. So this is what I was talking about today. This thing is still looking a little bit bearish for us. We've got our right shoulder, and we are busy retesting that trend so that we have lost. So we spoke about this one briefly yesterday. This is a big resistance zone for me, this 2,500. So the only way we can really start turning bullish on ETH again is if we get a strong break through that region, just like we want on Bitcoin. Then we get a little consolidation here and then a nice little pop. Okay, so that would be ideal for me on ETH. Then we can start turning bullish. We reclaim 2.5, then I'm an ETH bro again. Okay, then I'm going to firing up these longs and we're going to get stuck into some Ethereum again. Okay, so until that happens, I'm looking lower. Okay, as miserable as that sounds, 2,200, that type of region, interesting to me. Limit X, yes sir. 2,200 region, that is the zone for me that I'm very interested in on ETH if this falls over. Okay, so remember, we can change our thesis, we break horizontals, then we're cooking again. Until then, a little bit bearish on a lot of these setups that we are watching at the moment. Okay, Solana, we touched on this yesterday. I was speaking about a big level for me on Sol, 140. Okay, look at this thing. We've just held 140.07. Okay, like looking for a close now back above the 50-day MA. So you can see they put Sol under tons of pressure here, and a lot of altcoins were under way more pressure than Sol, funnily enough, today. But look at that thing, 140 on the button there is what we've held now, and we've got the anchored VWAP dumps from August, the anchored VWAP from September, the 50-day MA. Let's get a close above this region. Okay, let's get a close above there. Then we can start looking at the next push for Sol. Okay, and then we do have our trend in the way, but all you need to be concerned about right now is 140. That is your main support. If you are sitting in positions, that is where you're going to lock in stop losses and things like that. If we start losing those types of zones, then maybe it's time to start jumping out, because then the shit's going to hit the fan, and I suspect things are going to start falling over now. After a strong bounce like that. Okay, so look out over there for Sol. Let's close above that zone. Then we can start getting a little bit more interested. And then we've got our trend in the way. There's a lot in the way. Okay, first things first, 140 to hold. Exit under 140. Let's keep it above those zones. We worry about targets later when we do have some kind of consolidation. Okay, another one we spoke about yesterday. There were a couple of points here on NEAR, and we were looking at a couple of zones. Now, NEAR is a very interesting one for me, and it's dipped into quite a nice little zone. Just like we've seen Bitcoin hit a trend and bounce, we've seen NEAR hit an interesting zone and start reacting. Okay, so we're going to zoom in. This is NEAR on the 12 hour that we're watching at the moment. And right now you can see it's bouncing in a hot zone. Okay, so what I've identified here is a 618. I've got the August VWAP. I've got the September VWAP dump as well that we've locked in there as well. We've got a horizontal cluster, and this is now a nice little hot zone. So I am actually trading NEAR at the moment in VX. Oh, there it is. Okay, and I've taken a NEAR position there on that bounce in VX, and I've got a breadth position as well. That thing was also perfect, the way that thing bounced. So right now I'm watching this guy. My stop is going to be under 4.705. Okay, but you can see there's work to do here on NEAR. All we are right now is we are just in a downtrend. Okay, that is all that's happening at the moment with NEAR, and this bounce that we're seeing now is very similar to that one. Okay, very similar there, very similar to that one. Okay, so we can't get too excited, okay, until we start breaking some big levels here. And I just want to identify this huge horizontal here. We were looking at this one earlier today as well, and I was sitting in a small position there looking to hold, and we got stopped out on that guy. So now we jumped in over here looking for that push, but this is a danger zone. 4.87. I just want to put a box around here for you guys. 4.87. That is anchored VWAP, and that is also horizontals. Okay, but what does this tell me? This tells me if we do break through that zone, then we can start getting quite aggressive with NEAR. Okay, because that tells me we're reclaiming some big horizontals there, and things could be turning. So right now, your safest support, 4.7. That is your safest level if you want to play about. Alternatively, sit back, wait. Let it break earlier today. The support from earlier today, let it break back above that. Okay, when it starts breaking back above that, that could give you your ticket to the upside on near. Okay, so very simple game plan here. We've had a nice little bounce in the market, but we are certainly not out of the woods here. So watching 4.7, that is where I'm going to keep my stop. And then you can see I've got a Brett situation here as well. Let's take a look there. Look at this bounce, Ray. Look at this thing. This is, it's crazy. Okay, I just want to give you guys a beautiful reaction zone explanation again. Okay, and there's two things happening here. In fact, I'm actually going to close this Brett. I'm closing this Brett right now because it's actually in a short zone here. And I'm going to tell you right now why it's in a short zone. Okay, look at that. It's pushed into. Okay, let's first discuss the bounce. Okay, so I was watching Brett earlier today. I dropped in Sniper Club. This was looking interesting. We were getting the squeezy little setup, and I've highlighted this very tight daily pivot over here. Okay, that's an interesting zone for me on Brett. That very tight daily pivot. You can see we generally get explosive moves off the daily pivot, up or down. And today they chose violence. Okay, they sent it to the downside. Now look where Brett reacted. It reacted on a 618 pull. It reacted on the anchored VWAP. Okay, it reacted on the horizontal and the trend region. So look at that solid bounce there out of Brett, 0.085. Okay, the reason I've closed this now, it's a resistance zone. We are retesting the daily pivot. Okay, let's actually short this thing quickly. Let's short this thing. Okay, so we're opening a short there, and I'm putting my stop loss just above that daily pivot. Okay, so let's just highlight this daily pivot, and you can see a very tight daily pivot. I'm going to put my stop 008842. Okay, so all I'm doing is I've pumped this thing into resistance band. Now it's technically rejecting at a trend and the daily pivot. If it breaks through that daily pivot, yes, it turns bullish again. Okay, but this is now a typical area where you are going to look to short it or take profit. What was that stop zone there, Ray? 8842. Okay, we're going to go just above that. Okay, confirm. There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to break it a little bit higher there. Okay, so it just gives a little bit of room if there is one more pump. So you can see my thinking behind that situation. You can see my thinking behind the story. We've pumped up. We've retested a trend and the tight daily pivot. Now we are rejecting off that zone. Okay, you can see why the thought process. Okay, very simple. And then there is another rejection zone slightly higher up. Look at this rejection area up here. Bang. Okay, so if we do push higher, you've got big trouble here. 0.089. 0.089. Watch that region. 0.089. That is a danger zone there for you guys as well. Hamid says, devil candle to 42K. My God, I mean, what do you want to do to us here, bro? We're trying to have fun. I mean, people are salty about me at 53K. Wow, we don't want to see what happens at 42. Okay, so you get the game plan here on Brett. No new trades here. Okay, so you can see why it's a scalp TP zone. You can see why it's a scalp bounce zone. Now watch your support. 0.085. See what happens there. And yeah, let's see. Let Brett play out. We've also got higher time frame things that we can watch, higher time frame things that we can deal with on Brett. Okay, so take a look there. Bang. Okay, you can see there's a big little trend situation, big little trend. Okay, there's a trend situation here. If it does start turning bullish, what it's going to do, it's going to reclaim that resistance that I've given you. And then we can look, there'll be another Brett trade later on above the 0.09 zone. Okay, so simple game plan there on Brett. Then I've got a setup for you guys on Casper. Now, Casper's been singing to its own hymn sheet lately, okay? And it's slowly getting into the hot zone. Now, we just have to wait a little bit longer. I think we are days away from the hot zone here on Casper, 0.124. Okay, watching this region, 0.124. I suspect that is where we're going to get some kind of bounce on CAS. Now, people have been super quiet on CAS. It's one of those strange tokens where it gets hyped for a while, everybody buys it, then everybody forgets about it, and the market pumps, the market dumps, but CAS just does its thing. And at the moment, in spite of what's going on around us, CAS has just slowly been bleeding out there on the daily. Okay, so not a good look, but we are nearly at our zone. So you're looking at 0.125, that type of region, most likely going to get some kind of bounce there on CAS. It might not be the bottom for Cass, it could just be a short-term bounce, and we most likely get some kind of rejection and then maybe send that lower. Alternatively, I'm going to be saying to you guys, when this is happening, that is what we're looking for. Simple game plan. We want to break big things. 200-day MA. We want to break the 50-day MA. When we start breaking those things, then we can turn a little bit more bullish on the process. Okay, so right now, Cass nearly into a trade zone. Watch this level, 125. Let's put alarms on right now here. Let's go. Bang, 0.125. That is what we're watching. If it pings that zone, we get an alarm, then you can make rational decisions. Okay, so let the alarm play out. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, Ray, my say is rejecting now. Okay, so this is what's going on in ByBit at the moment. And I've taken a rune position. Now, there's been lots of buzz around Sniper Club about Zoom. Lots of buzz in Sniper Club about Rune. And you even saw Bogdan in the chats there talking about Rune. Well, I'll tell you what, Rune's actually looked pretty bullish today in spite of the nature of the market. And Sheldon has dropped he started the 10x challenge. It's a channel in the Sniper Club. And basically what happens there is when the conditions are right, okay, he drops small position trades, and he's teaching the guys there our little system of how we increase the size, how we increase the leverage as we go along. So if that is interesting to you, okay, come join us at Sniper Club. If you want to learn how to do that, if you don't know how to do these things, come hang out with us at Sniper Club. He's taking like $100, turning it, creating a $10,000, creating a $1,000 position. Then they're using leverage and they're increasing size. And once or twice you get stopped, but then these things hit and they start absolutely pumping. And there was lots of talk in Sniper Club today. And I thought, well, I've got to take this opportunity here and grab some of this Rune. So I've grabbed some Rune here. And yeah, so far so good. And it's cruising. Okay, so go Sniper Club. Let's go. If you are interested, guys, remember, everything that I'm talking about is sitting here in the show description underneath. Okay, from Sniper Club to the ledger link that you need, all these types of things. And there's Bogdan. He's cooking on his Rune there at the moment. And yeah, it's all happening, guys. Everything you're going to find that I speak about is sitting under the show doc here for you guys. So take a look there. Okay, let's talk Say. Ray and I were talking Say last night, okay, and we got into a bit of a tangle, okay, because I was telling Ray I didn't have a full stop loss on Say, so they sent me lower, and they sent me lower, and they sent me lower. So I've added now on the bounce, as you can see, and now I'm sitting at break even on Say. So now this is decision time for me, okay. And what's Minia saying? It was actually looking at 42,800. It's 30%, then to 20. She wants to send us to 25K.
She's trying to send us out of business.
Going out of business. Okay, so here's the Say situation here at the moment. And you can see we've got a 618 bounce. We've got... Come on, Ray. Okay, I just want to show you this thing of beauty. Now, you saw it on BTC hitting a 618. You saw it on Brett. You saw it on Nia. They're all hitting good zones. When you're dropping into these levels, you're hitting good areas. And you can see there's no difference here as to what's happened with Say. Look at this thing. We've got a fib pool from the lows. Okay, the lows on the 3rd of August. Okay, the lows on the 3rd of August. All you do, you pull your fib from the low to the high. Okay, 618, bang, horizontals in play. Look at this, horizontals. Look at those beautiful horizontals, and then an easy algo. All these red lines you see there. This is your easy algo monthly pivot. Okay, that is your support. The center of the pivot can act as support. So we had horizontals. We had the center of the monthly pivot. We had the 618. Okay, that is why we're looking for a bounce in that zone. Okay, and exactly why this thing is rejecting here. I'm going to show you guys why this is rejecting. Look at this. Resistance band, and we've got our anchored VWAP from the 3rd of October. Rejection. Okay, it's very simple, these things. TA does not have to be complicated at all. We're using a couple of lines. We're drawing squiggles on the charts, and we're making decisions. Okay, so nice little reaction zone for Say. If you are trading Say, your support, 0.41. That is all you need to know right now. 0.41, that is what you need in your life. So watching that for now. If we do get more weakness later and a big sell-off in the market, then your next zone for Say, you're just going to track your next solid horizontal band. So Say traders, if we do dip lower, 0.4 is what you're going to be looking at. 0.4. Let's highlight that guy for you. 0.4. Okay, Ray's going to drop these charts. Remember, everybody in Sniper Club, after the show, Ray drops every show chart that I've just shown you, even some of the tweets. he might even share for you in my section in Sniper Club. So you'll have access to all these charts that I'm talking about, and he'll drop them as they are in Sniper Club. So excuse all the squiggles. You need to watch the show to understand exactly why we are doing certain things. Okay, so say you've got your support levels that you're watching, your resistance right now, 0.426. That is your big resistance. When we start breaking higher on say, then we can start getting excited. Okay, so there's work to do here. We want to start breaking up, and it's going to be a typical trend break play. So if we do pop higher, you can see our weekly pivot, our 200-day MA. That is bad. Okay, that is very bad there. Big rejection zone for us there. Looking for support. 42, then we're sending it higher again. So if I get that break of trend, I'm going to start adding to my position, and I'm going to start raising my stop under the 0.423 type of level. That is what I'm going to be looking at when we get there. Okay, so right now for me, my exit zone is 41. If we lose that, if we break higher, adding to the position, raising my stop, and we're going to use that anchored VWAP and horizontal as our support going forward on say. Then we'll have our next danger zone ahead. That is 44, and then after that we play the game. Okay, we see how far we go. Okay, the next one I've got for you guys is AVAX, and this is also interesting. So for me, this really feels like it needs to come to 25. You can see it's starting to be lower. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, we really need to add 252 as the likes, please.
You guys, did they rug the likes? Don't rug the likes, guys. Okay. But do it like this. If you like the content, like it. If you love the content, subscribe. Hit the bell if you like it. Okay, you know what to do. If you don't like it, don't like it. It's also okay. Right, let's talk AVAX 25.3. That looks like my hot zone for me. Okay, so I'm watching this one. What is Bruce saying? Dylan the Squiggle Master. 25.3. That's a hot zone. So I want to highlight this for you guys. Anybody interested in AVAX? That is your big one. Okay, it's a 618 pool, and we've got tie-in on the 50-day moving average. We've got tie-in with these horizontals. So on the 12-hour, it still looks like it could go there. Now, I stand to be corrected. If we do get a hard push in the market, we're just going to pop that one higher, look for support, and then we can start riding it up and start chasing 30. But right now, we are in a downtrend. We are still bearish. And 25.3, that's where it's at for me on AVAX. So watch that zone. That is a reaction zone for me. Once that area is lost, I've highlighted another zone for you guys, 24. These are your main areas, and you can see why this 24 makes sense to me. This is the 12-hour chart. Look at that beautiful rising trend that we've got in play there. We've got a nice horizontal cluster, and I've got the anchored VWAP from the dump in August. So we know 24 is another hot zone. That's the type of hot zone that Bitcoin just hit now. That's the equivalent on AVAX lower down as well, 24 and the 25.3. So both of those are hot for me. Yeah, lovely areas. Okay, here's AVAX lower time frame. Yesterday I was in that AVAX short, and I closed it. I thought I closed it a little bit early, and then we dumped a bit lower. And well, who knows? Let's see where that goes. But I'm done now with that short. It was a head short that I'd taken on AVAX just to help the account, because sometimes when you get some nice pumps in the market, and look, it's not for everybody. Okay, shorting and longing at the same time, it's not for everybody out there. But sometimes for me, if I'm in multiple positions long and things are really green and rosy, and I'm not interested in closing all of them, but I might feel that maybe we can have a pullback in the market, sometimes I look for a reaction zone or a resistance band, and then I'll open a head short on another token just to help me out and cover some stops if we do start falling over. So it's something, it takes a bit of time, takes a bit of practice, and it can get messy. If you're balancing shorts and longs and doing all these things, it can get a little bit confusing, but sometimes it's just a nice little hedge play once we've had a couple of green candles. And the theory, if the market just keeps ripping on, then, you can get your short closed, but then the rest of your tokens start moving up. If the market dips lower, well, at least it covers a couple of stop hits if there are any on the way down. Prime Trading says, bro, you are good in charts reading. How long have you been trading? What's happening? A long time, guys, a long time. I've clocked many hours in front of the screen, and I can assure you I've been rinsed many times, okay? And that's part of the game. So it takes a lot of screen time. It takes a lot of pain to get there. Let's go. Next one. Oh, Rune. Okay, so this was my bigger picture view on Rune. Okay, Call the Moon said last chance to buy, so sell. It's possible. Okay, we all just making guesstimates here. Okay, so 6G. He's not necessarily wrong. Okay, it could start ripping. I'm just giving you, I'm just giving you what's in front of me. Rune. Okay, this is still my bigger picture view on Rune. So we're in a scalp, we're in a position, all these things. But you can see this was the bigger picture Rune setup that I drew a couple of weeks ago. And so far, this thing, it's not perfect the way it's playing out. I was looking for the rejection on the 200-day, but they actually sweated it a little bit higher. Okay, so currently that is in play. And this is now in play until proven otherwise. So Rune traders, I'm going to be taking profit. And if this thing starts turning over, I'm going to jump out of this thing. But right now, that is the bigger picture game plan on Rune. Okay, our big levels, 4.5, lower down, 4.14. Okay, so that is the bigger picture view. Right now, scalp trades, you can see what's going on. We've got a short-term bounce in the market. Things are looking good. If BTC breaks the 200-day MA, starts churning higher, things turn bullish, then this whole theory gets thrown out of the window. So right now, until proven otherwise, that is really what we could see on Rune later on. Okay, now obviously to suit all our trades, and you can see the positions we're in, if we start firing off here above that 200-day, well, then things are going to get fun, because we're going to be adding to that Rune position as well, and we're going to be growing that thing, and then we're going to target 5.8, we're going to target 6.3, those type of levels. And bird in the bush, am I getting rinsed here, bro? Am I getting rinsed on Brett? He's saying, yeah, what's printing here? Where's our Brett? Oh, well, shorts in play. It's good. Okay, it's reversing. Okay, we can see. So nice little sweat out there on Brett. And let's see if we're going to get our 0.085. Okay, let's see. And remember, those stops are in play, guys. Remember, breakout candles, you're banging your stops under those areas. That's why we do that. Look at this little reversal. Mike Bennett, look at this. Okay, and this was a typical signal here in the market. What did we do? We pumped into a trend. We pumped into the daily pivot, okay, for a rejection, for a reaction, TP zone, short zone. Okay, that's just how it is. And we're drawing trend lines, we're drawing horizontals, we're drawing fibs, we're using moving averages, we're using VWAPs, and we're using vibe. Okay, and most importantly, we're using the vibe. That's what it's about. Okay, let's go to the next guy. Let's see, Injective. Yeah, just an update on Injective. So we looked at this one yesterday, still looking bigger time frame bearish. Okay, bigger time frame bearish. You can see why. We've lost our first trend. Now we are drifting lower. And right now, Injective has support. 19.2. That's what you're watching. But this was my game plan yesterday, and I still expect something along those lines. A little pump and dump here potentially on Injective, and we can always turn bullish later on. But we've got a lot of work to do. So Injective would really need to start a lower time frame uptrend here to really start getting bullish for us. Until then, okay, we're looking for these little reversals down to these types of zones. So 18.8 is what you're watching, then 17.3. Those are still the bigger picture plays. Okay, this is for the ultimate bear zone. And we're talking Bitcoin rejecting that 200-day MA, Bitcoin going down 57, 53, those types of levels. Then we start looking at Injective at 17. So by all means, nothing to panic about just yet. Okay, we've got all our levels of support on those 4-hour charts. We know where we can get reactions. We know the moneymaker zones where we can bounce and all those things along the way down. So it's not all doom and gloom when things do start falling over. And there's lots of fun to be had. Then another one. Okay, here's a possible entry for you guys. And on Ondo, I don't want to get too hyped or pumped about this one, because you can see how weak this looks relative to other alts in the market. But I just want to bring this to your attention. Ondo is a real world asset play. It's my go-to RWA play. So when that narrative starts firing, just like when AI starts firing, I like to jump into render, for example. Ondo for me, that's my RWA play. Okay, so if you're chasing narratives, for me, RWA, when that starts pumping, Ondo's a nice one to have. And right now it's moving into an area of interest. So I just want to give you the zone. Now we got to make sure Bitcoin is going to hold those lows from earlier today. That's really, goal number one. So as long as Bitcoin's going to hold those lows, I suspect we could see a little entry here in Ondo in that type of region. So I would suggest here anything down to 0.634. Okay, anything down to 0.634, that would in theory give you some kind of double bottom play on Ondo. So you're going to get a double bottom situation there, and then you're going to be looking for that bounce. So Ondo from 0.664 down to 0.644, that type of region, you should get a bounce in that zone. Okay, we don't know how big it's going to be, and if Bitcoin is absolutely shitting the bed, well then all bets are off All altcoins are going to zero. They're all dropping. So you just got to keep your one eye on Bitcoin, keep your other eye on dominance. But I suspect anytime now we're getting an entry here on Ondo. So anything for me from this current 618 region, and that is, let's call it 664. And your exit zone would be a close under 635. So the deeper you can get it, the better. The deeper you get it, the lower your stop risk and the easier your life is, especially if you are trading leverage. Okay, so let's do Peppy and let's take a look at this guy. Okay, so this thing is choppy. So we looked at this one briefly yesterday, Peppy traders, and oh, this is chop, Ray. This market is choppy, bro. What is going on up there? What am I missing? So Peppy, you can see here we are clearly in a downtrend. Okay, there's our downtrend in play, bang. And right now we are playing on support zones. There's support zone number 1 that we are watching at the moment. So very interesting play. This is Peppy on the 1 hour. You can see what happened earlier. And we saw the same on Brett. We saw the same on Near. And those tokens, they were hovering around support for a while. What happened? Big dump. Then what happens after that? They pump you into that previous support and then they reject you like you've just seen on Brett here. So Peppy traders, multiple zeros, 913. That is what you're going to be watching. That is your support bounce zone. You've got an anchored VWAP down here at 902. 902 is your anchored VWAP. A little bit higher up, 913. Those are your bounce zones. If it doesn't bounce there, then Peppy's going to hell. Peppy's coming back down. And we're looking at the 50-day MA. We're looking at the lows. Okay, it's as simple as that. On Peppy, then you're looking at about 85. So what I would suggest, watch those levels closely and let's see how we go. Now, Ray, am I going to get rinsed on my trade? I'm about to get round tripped on my trade. Here it is. And this is exactly why we drop under those breakout candles. Protect yourselves, protect your risk. Okay, look at those reversals. This is a perfect example of crypto conditions. I mean, this is absolute filth, what these guys are doing to us. And Fahad says US is dumping the UK pub. Am I getting rinsed on my S&P? Let me see. S&P, don't kill me here. Don't kill me. Where's my S&P? Oh no, we're okay. S&P is still alive. S&P is still alive. My stop's under that 8-hour candle. Okay, nice guys. That is a wrap from me. You've got some very important levels here on some of these tokens. You've got BTC, the most crucial. We've got CPI tomorrow. Expect big volatility. That's a massive day tomorrow. And then most importantly, you've got your key Bitcoin levels. Now, remember, if we drop lower on Bitcoin to the next zone, then you got to marry your alts with their corresponding next level. So you're going to watch dominance. If BTC is dropping, you're going to make sure your alts are tying in to nice levels. That level I showed you on AVAX comes to mind. That could be a nice little zone if BTC wants to go a little bit lower. So lots for you guys to think about, lots for you to watch. And guys, those charts in Sniper Club, they'll be there in the next 15 minutes. And that is it from me. Good luck out there. It looks choppy. It looks messy. I'm going to go deal with some of these trades now. Good luck, guys. And that was fun. As usual, see you tomorrow. Ray, did you get liquidated, bro?